Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Ashish and this video will learn about the upper limb, all the muscles along with their nerve supply. So what's so special about this particular video? This is that we learn about all the muscles of the video along with the mnemonic to learn, and I have a couple of good videos and images that will help you to remember the muscles name along with their location. So let us start with the video. So in total we have 58 muscles to learn in the upper limb. So oh my god, you might be thinking that it's so much difficult for you to remember all those 58 names. So let me tell you, it's very easy to remember if you follow my steps that I'm going to tell you. So for the sake of understanding, or for the sake of the reading the upper limb, we divide the upper limb into different regions. So then the diagram that you can see over here, you can see the upper limb is divided into several regions. One region you can see near the breast is called the pectoral region. We have the shoulder region, forearm, arm, hand, and along with that we have further subdivisions, many like axillary. But for the majority of the regions that we're going to discuss are the major regions. Sorry, we are not going to discuss the muscles along with the division of all those that we have discussed, but we have 6 major divisions along which we have to learn the muscles name. The 3 you might be knowing, that is the hand, forearm and arm, and the other 3 are the pectoral region, then we have the scapular region, and there is something called the region which connects the upper limb to the back or the vertebral column. When I say back, I refer to the back of the neck as well as the back of the torso and abdomen as well. Okay, so the major regions that we are going to discuss are the first one is let me start from the top, then we move towards the bottom or the lower portions. The topmost we have the pectoral region, or the first priority to discuss is the pectoral region. Then we'll discuss about the region which connects the upper limb to the back or of the torso or the neck, and then we have the scapular region, then we have the arm, forearm, and the last we'll discuss the muscles of the hand. So first let's start with the pectoral region. I'll request you to write along with me so that by the end of the video you have the notes along with yourself. Okay, so first region to study is the pectoral region. Okay, pectoral region. So in the pectoral region we have 3 muscles. So the names are also very simple. How? See, the name is pectoral region. So the name muscle, first and second muscle name is very simple: pectoralis major. So this is the first muscle. The second muscle of this region is pectoralis minor. So what you can guess by this? There is some muscle called pectoralis major which is bigger in size, and the smaller muscle of the pectoral region is called the pectoralis minor. The other muscle is subclavius. Subclavius. So what can you guess by its name? So the subclavius means which is present below the clavicle. So this is very small muscle just present below the clavicle. So you cannot see the muscle from the front view. You have to just retract the clavicle upwards. So because it's present below, so to retract it upwards to see this muscle. So this is very important from the region that we had discussed. Now the second region is the region which connects the upper limb to the back of the neck and the torso, or you can also say the region which connects the upper limb to the vertebral column. So the region connecting upper limb to back or vertebral column. Okay, so we have a number of muscles in this region, and the names might be quite unfamiliar, but you should just chart again and again. You will help easily remember or recall their names. So the trick to remember is R2, L2, T. Okay, R2, L2, T. So that we have 2 R's, 2 L, and 1 T. The 2 R's are very familiar names that you might be knowing, that are the rhomboids major and rhomboids minor. So I am writing short form rhomboids major, and the second muscle of this region is rhomboids minor. Now we have L2. So in the L2 we have 2 L's: latissimus dorsi and the levator scapulae. Latissimus dorsi, and the fourth muscle is levator scapulae. Okay, and the remaining T is very most important muscle that is usually pointed out by the examiner. That's the fifth one. That name is trapezius. So these were the 5 muscles that you should remember in the region connecting upper limb to the back. So in the pectoral region we had 3. Till now we have discussed 8 muscles. Now we have to discuss the remaining 50 muscles. Now out of 50, the 40s are present in the forearm and the hand. In the forearm we have 20 muscles, and the hand also we have 20 muscles. So in total we have 40. So in the remaining 10 are present. Some are in the scapular region and the remaining are in the arm. So let's start with the scapular region. So you should leave some gap here because we have to also discuss the nerve supply. The heading of the topic was the upper limb all muscles along with the nerve supply. So leave some gap, then we'll discuss the nerve supply at the last. So we have discussed the pectoral region, we have discussed the region connecting upper limb to the back. Then we have the third region, which is called the scapular region. So we have the third region over here, scapular region. Okay, in the scapular region we have a number of muscles. So before discussing the names, let's see the diagram first. In this diagram, you can note the different features of the and parts of the scapula clearly. The most important point to concern over here is the spine of the scapula. In the posterior aspect of the scapula, a spine is present above which there is a supraspinous fossa and below which there is a infraspinous fossa. There is muscle present in both the fossas over here. In the anterior side, this fossa you can see is called the subscapular fossa, in which the subscapular muscle is present. Now let's have a look on the muscles of the scapular region. So the supraspinatus fossa, you can see the supraspinatus muscle. In the infraspinatus fossa, you can see the infraspinatus muscle. Then we have on the anterior side we have the subscapularis muscle, and the lateral side there is a muscle present, bulkiest muscle of the scapular region, deltoid. This muscle provides the contour of the shoulder. In the diagram, as you saw, we had a number of muscles in the scapular region. So in total we have 6 muscles in the scapular region. These are the supraspinatus, present above the spine of the scapula, infraspinatus, present below the spine of the scapula. We have the subscapularis in the front. In the back we have 2 more muscles, teres major and the teres minor. Along with we have one more muscle which is called the deltoid muscle. You make it a star over here because this is very important muscle and is usually asked in the examination, and we are going to discuss in detail about this deltoid muscle in the upcoming videos. Now let's discuss the muscles of the arm. So now the next region is the arm. So in the arm we can divide the group of muscles into 2, present in the front of the arm, and the next muscles or group of muscles present in the back of the arm. So present in the front. So in the front we have 3 muscles. In total in the arm there are 4 muscles. Out of them 3 are present in the front, and the back we have 1 muscle. So the back muscle, one muscle is the triceps brachii, triceps. Okay, so this is the triceps muscle. In the front we have biceps brachii, we have coracobrachialis, and third is the brachialis. So these all muscles are present in the arm. In the front of the arm we have 3 muscles, biceps, coracobrachialis and the brachialis, and the back we have 1 muscle, that's the triceps. The next region to discuss is the forearm. Forearm, similar to arm, can be divided into 2 regions, that is the present in the flexor part on the front or in the extensor part or the back of the forearm. So we have 2 regions in the case of the forearm. The first region is the flexor compartment, flexor, and second one is the extensor compartment. Flexor means in the front of the arm. Okay, we have the flexor compartment and extensor or the back. So in the flexor compartment, with the muscles or group of muscles can vary into 2. The one located superficially and the group of muscle located deep. So we have superficial and deep in case of both flexor as well as the extensor compartment. So we have divided the muscles into 2 groups. Again, that's the superficial muscles, and next group is the deep. Similarly, in the compartment also we have superficial muscles and deep muscles. So in the flexor compartment in total we have 8 muscles. As I told you in the very beginning that in the forearm we have 20 muscles. In the forearm and the hand we have 20 muscles each. So the out of 20 of the forearm, 8 are present in the flexor compartment and the remaining 12 are present in the extensor compartment. So they will be again subdivision of this 8 muscles. Out of 8, 5 are superficial and 3 are deep. Always remember superficial are larger in number. So this rule will apply to the extensor compartment as well. So in the extensor compartment, superficial we have 7. In the deep we have 5 muscles to recall or remember. Okay, these are all are the subdivisions. So in the superficial compartment of the flexor group, we have the pronator teres. The trick to remember the muscles name is already uploaded in a separate video. Kindly check out in the playlist section. The video is entitled Trick to Remember the Muscles of Forearm. I will also provide the link in the I button above. In that video, you will easily remember all the names of the muscles of the forearm. Okay, so I will just write down all the names in order to save time. Now let's see the names of the muscles so that you can easily recall once. So we have pronator teres. In the flexor compartment, the superficial group of muscles we have pronator teres, flexor carpi radialis, palmaris longus, flexor digitorum superficialis, flexor carpi ulnaris, pronator chordatus, flexor pollicis longus and flexor digitorum profundus. One thing I have to tell you about the flexor digitorum profundus is that it is divided into two parts, medial half and lateral half. Why it is divided? Because these two halves have different nerve supply that we are going to discuss once we have completed all the names of the muscle. So we have pronator teres, flexor carpi radialis, palmaris longus, flexor digitorum superficialis, flexor carpi ulnaris. In the deep we have the pronator chordatus, flexor pollicis longus and flexor digitorum profundus. Okay. Now one thing you can see here is that in the flexor compartment of the forearm, all the muscles name either start with F or with P. So you will never get confused with the muscles of the extensor group. Okay, all the muscles name start with either the F or with P. And the trick is already there in the video that I have already uploaded. Okay, now let's see of the extensor group. The extensor group, the trick to write is first write A for apple 1, that alphabet A, B, then write all the E. Okay, remaining 5. In total we have the 7 muscles. Okay, the first one you have to write A, then B, then all E. A stands for inconius, then we have the brachioradialis. Now in the extensor group we have two regions. One is the radial region and other is the ulnar region. Radial means the related to the side of the thumb and ulnar means the related to side of the little finger. Okay, so in the radial part we have the extensor carpi radialis longus, extensor carpi radialis brevis. What about the extensor digitorum? It supplies the digits. Okay, non the normal digits. So we have extensor digitorum and digitorum supplies the little finger and the extensor carpi ulnaris of the ulnar side. So these are the muscles of the superficial group of the extensor compartment of the forearm, that is in the back of the forearm. In the deep muscles we have the supinator, abductor, it's abductor, AB, abductor, pollicis longus, extensor pollicis brevis. Pollicis means related to the thumb. Okay, so abductor pollicis longus means related to the thumb, extensor pollicis brevis, extensor pollicis longus and extensor indicis. One thing to tell you about these three muscles, the center three muscles, that these are the muscles of the anatomical snuff box. You can see there is a depression over here. This is called the anatomical snuff box and is used as a snuff box by the drug addicts. Okay, so these three are the muscles of the anatomical snuff box. The details which I will be uploading in the different video when we discuss about the anatomical snuff box. Now the last region to discuss is the hand. Okay, so this is the sixth region, hand. So till now how many muscles we have completed? We have completed 38 muscles. So 20 were from the forearm. In the arm how many muscles we have? 4. 3 in the anterior compartment and 1 in the posterior compartment. Okay, in the scapular region we have 6 muscles. In the region connecting the upper limb to the back we had 5 muscles, and the 3 muscles were the muscles of the pectoral region, that was the pectoralis major, minor and the subclavius. Now in the hand we have 20 muscles. These muscles are called the intrinsic muscles of the hand. The trick to remember the muscles of the hand I have already uploaded. Kindly check out in the video entitled Intrinsic Muscles of the Hand. The link I will be uploading in the I button above. Now let's see the remaining 20 muscles of the hand and their names. So these are the we can divide the muscles of the hand into different regions. So this bump over here that you can see, this is called the thenar eminence, and the bump over the near the little finger is called the hypothenar eminence. Okay, these are the, so in the thenar eminence and the hypothenar eminence, three muscles each are involved in each case, and their names are also similar. We have opponents in each case, that's in the thenar and hypothenar. We have one abductor and one flexor. Note it is AB, abductor, okay, and then we have the flexor. So in the thenar eminence, over this eminence we have opponens pollicis. Pollicis means related to the thumb, okay, opponens pollicis, abductor pollicis brevis, and flexor pollicis brevis. What about the hypothenar eminence? It's related to the little finger, that's for digiti minimi. Then we have the opponens digiti minimi, abductor digiti minimi, and then we have the flexor digiti minimi. Apart from this, these are 3 muscles each. So out of 20 we have discussed the 6 muscles, so remaining are the 14 muscles. We have 4 palmar interossei. What do you mean interossei? The muscle present in between the bones. So we have the carpus and metacarpus. Then in between the metacarpus there are some muscles which is called the palmar interossei. This is the palmar side. So we have the 4 palmar interossei over here, okay, 4 palmar interossei, and the back we have the 4 dorsal interossei. So we have 4 palmar, 4 dorsal, then we have 4 lumbricals. Lumbricals are worm-shaped muscles which extend like this, okay. So in the diagram you can see that these muscles are worm-shaped muscles which exist in between the digits. Then we have the adductor. See, this is adductor pollicis which is present near the thenar eminence. Then we have the palmaris brevis. What about the palmaris longus? Palmaris longus is a muscle of the superficial group of the flexor compartment of the forearm. So here we have the palmaris longus, and the palmaris brevis is present in the hand, okay. So these are the 1 muscle each. If you add the total 6 plus 4, 10, then we have over 10 muscles over here, 4 dorsal, 4 lumbricals, adductor pollicis, and the palmaris brevis. Now